Congregational Church and our 5th annual Fulfilling the Dream concert. It is our great joy to see all of you in this place that we make sacred by recognizing the presence of God around us, among us, and within us.
5 years ago, we began this annual event as a way to bring justice-minded people together from across Los Angeles. Our purpose was to celebrate Dr. King and the civil rights movement as we connected through the witness of song and word. We believed that this connection would help us bring the power that comes from a God-given diversity. And not surprisingly, on that night, we found our lives infused with the love that has the ability to provide all we need for this day and for all the days to come.
At that first gathering, Reverend Dr. James Lawson shared his belief that Los Angeles needed this vital experience, and he encouraged us to continue working together for justice. Every year, even through the times when we could not gather physically together, we came together virtually and used this event to fund ongoing justice projects in our city. Tonight, we are so excited to raise awareness and money for Rock Era, an organization that is leading a new movement to help the next generation find solace, motivation, and community in and through the arts. You will hear more about Rock Era as the night progresses, and we know you will be touched by the work of Ariana Tuttle and Jessica Jones and all those who share the light that shone so brightly in the one we remember and celebrate tonight.
It is the belief of the people who call this great cathedral home that the arts have the power to change lives. And we believe that they have the power to impact our city, our country, and our world with hope and love and goodness and grace.
Tonight, we wish to express our gratitude for our partners in the arts and the work of justice, who by their very presence make First Church a thriving home for so many. We will be led this evening by members of these partners. Reverend September Penn is the pastor of Angeles Mesa Presbyterian and the founder of Power of Song Incorporated. Ernest Harrison conducts the Gay Men's Chorus of Los Angeles. Dr. James Calhoun is organist at University Seventh-day Adventist. Avi Koya, a recent transplant from D.C., who has a long history with the King Center in Washington, and Melinda Smith, who will sing the solo on the first anthem of our mass choir tonight. Each of these leaders and those who will share the words of Dr. King bring with them the embodied understanding of the music and histories of the civil rights movement, and we are so blessed to have their voices leading us. Yes.
We invite you now to listen with your whole hearts as Judge Robert Ward, who is a strong leader at First Church and the power behind this gathering each year. Please come, Judge Ward, and bring these words of gathering.
For our words of gathering, let us read together the words of Dr. King. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, every hill, mountain. The rough places will be made plain,
And the crooked places will be made straight.
and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. We'll be able to hew out the house of the Lord. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling chords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, pray together, struggle together, go to jail together, stand up for freedom together, knowing that. Please stand now and join our MLK Mass Choir as directed by Reverend September Penn in the singing of Lift Every Voice and Sing.
Now, would you please join me in prayer? O God, all people are your beloved, across races, nationalities, religions, sexual orientations, gender identities, and all the ways we are distinctive from one another. We are all manifestations of your image. We are bound together in an inescapable network of mutuality and tied to a single garment of destiny. You call us into your unending work of justice, peace, and love. Let us know your presence among us here. Let us delight in our diversity that offers glimpses of the mosaic of your beauty. Strengthen us with your steadfast love and transform our despairing fatigue into hope-filled action. Under the shadow of your wings in this time, may we find rest and strength, renewal and hope. We ask this inspired by the example of your disciple, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr., whose prophetic life showed us the way of Jesus. Amen and amen. Would you please be seated?
I'm going to A reading from Dr. King's All Life is Interrelated ceremony. Join with the earth and each other to bring new land to the life, to restore the waters, to refresh the air, to renew the forest, to care for the plants, to protect the creatures, to celebrate the seas, to rejoice in the sunlight, to sing the song of the stars, to recall our destiny, to renew our spirits, to rejuvenate our bodies, to recreate the human community, to promote justice and peace, to love our children and love one another, to rejoin together as many and diverse expressions of one loving mystery, for the healing of earth and renewal of all life.
A reading from Dr. King's Economic Bill of Rights. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all of us indirectly. We must recognize that we can't solve our problem now until there is a radical redistribution of economic and political power. This means a revolution of values as well as other things. We must now see that the evils of racism, economic exploitation, and militarism are all tied together. You can't really get rid of one without getting rid of all of the others. The whole structure of American life must be changed. America is a hypocritical nation, and we must put our house in order.
Christi, Abba. That was absolutely glorious, wasn't it? Amen. Amen. Good evening. My name is Reverend September Penn. As is the case with most Black women, I wear many hats, and I represent many organizations. I was recently ordained through the Presbytery of the Pacific and installed as the pastor of Angeles Mesa Presbyterian Church in Windsor Hills. Yes, I also serve as the CEO and the artistic director for the Power of Song, Inc. We educate about the civil rights movement and social justice issues through song, theater, and art. Back in 2005, I was introduced to and began working with Dr. Claiborne Carson at Stanford University. Dr. Carson had been commissioned by Coretta Scott King, who happens to be one of my sorors, to edit her husband's papers, his journals, his notebooks, his old sermons, sides of newspapers with notes and scribbles. All of these precious documents were turned over to Dr. Carson and his staff. Thus began the King Papers Project, which eventually evolved into the King Institute at Stanford University. From his work in editing Dr. Martin Luther King's papers, Dr. Carson wrote a play titled Passages of Martin Luther King, which literally lifted those private notes from the page and allowed us to see and hear intimate moments between Martin, Coretta, his parents, and his children. One of those intimate moments detailed a private complaint where Coretta is disheartened by having to endure the smell of urine in the stairway of their Chicago apartment. Coretta, Martin, and the children had to tiptoe and step over the urine each time they ascended and descended the stairs. Now imagine that. Today, we are talking about the children. Today, we continue the conversation that Dr. King raised in so many of his speeches, opportunities for the children, all children. Such opportunities and experiences that are provided by Rock Era in the communities that they serve. Dr. King and his entire family were quite familiar with the disparities of living in at-risk communities. In January of 1966, Dr. King, Coretta, and his children captured national attention when they moved into an apartment on Chicago's West Side to protest ghetto conditions. Proximity. Proximity. Dr. King knew that he could not just show up for a march from time to time. He could not just go before the city officials to argue on behalf of the disadvantaged. He had to experience it. He had to get into proximity to the people he was fighting for. He had to move into the neighborhood and see the rat-infested facilities for himself. So Dr. King, Coretta, and his children, they moved there to the slums of Chicago to live alongside and experience the struggle firsthand. They embodied neighbor. What does it mean to be a neighbor? What does it mean to be a good neighbor? To see what my neighbor sees, to experience the pain of my sisters and brothers, my neighbors, to smell what my neighbor smells, even the urine in the stairway. You see, Dr. King was not only a preacher and a prophet, he was also a pragmatic practitioner, a man whose academic prowess and philosophy reckoned and reasoned with the best of them, and his actions and his practices were firmly rooted in full active presence with his lived-in community. He talked the talk, and he walked the walk. Sharing from his last public speech, I've been to the mountaintop, given in Memphis, Tennessee on April the 3rd, 1968. Dr. King states, somehow the preacher must be an Amos and say, let justice roll down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. Somehow the preacher must say, as Jesus, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me because he hath anointed me to deal with the problems of the poor. He continues with, It's all right to talk about the long white robes over yonder in all of its symbolism, but ultimately, people want some suits and dresses to wear and some shoes to wear down here. It's all right to talk about streets flowing with milk and honey, but God has commanded us to be concerned about the slums down here. His children can't eat 3 square meals a day. It's all right to talk about the New Jerusalem. But one day, God's preacher must talk about the New York, the new Atlanta, the new Philadelphia, the new Los Angeles, and the new Memphis, Tennessee. This is what we have to do. Those are the words of Dr. King, given on the day before he was killed. And yes, even today, we still need to hear those words, especially in light of the most recent events in Memphis, Tennessee, with the killing of Tyree Nichols. We need to hear those words. Another well-known quote of Dr. King: "Those who love peace must learn to organize as effectively as those who love war." This certainly speaks to what we are doing today, isn't it? And what we have done throughout the last several weeks and months organizing for this event today in preparation for this occasion. But we must tap some quotes that are not well known as we consider Dr. King's affinity for music, the power of song. Since Dr. King chose to lead a movement of nonviolence, what would be the weapon of choice? They were not picking up arms. So these good old church folks, they took the war tools from the church. They armed themselves with praises and affirmations that would morph into our freedom songs. They simply flipped the lyrics. It was said that as Dr. King traveled to different towns and met the local leaders and the foot soldiers, he knew that they were ready to truly participate in a nonviolent protest when he heard them singing. And so we sing.
Late last year, we had the opportunity to share a feast of food and conversation with Ariana and Jessica of Rock Era and Melinda Hale, among other friends. In those moments, we knew that our meeting was special. The ways we shared about this night, about the arts, about justice, about our vision for the children of the city and beyond. We are honored by Rock Era's presence with us tonight, and I am honored to introduce you to their amazing founder, Ariana Tuttle. Ariana is a social activist, community leader, youth advocate, fitness coach, and creative producer. Ari has over 20 years of performing arts experiences and has spent over a decade traveling the world as a performer. Ari also has over 20 years of experience caring for young children. Esteemed guests, it is my honor to introduce you to Ariana Tuttle.
All right. Thank you so much. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Ariana Angelique, and I'm the founder and executive director for the nonprofit organization Rock Era. Rock stands for Regardless of Color, and our mission is to enrich, empower, and invest in at-risk youth in vulnerable communities through arts, fitness, and mentorship. It is an honor and a blessing to be here with you all tonight, celebrating the great Dr. Martin Luther King and his legacy. I'd like to share a personal story about myself and my reason behind starting Rock Era. I grew up in Santa Barbara, California, in what some people would call a beautiful city and would feel lucky to call home. But I lived with a single mother in low-income housing, and my father was incarcerated my entire life. He died in jail before I had the chance to meet him, hear his voice, or even see his face. Behind closed doors, we struggled to put food on the table and pay the bills. And I didn't have access to things that most kids had, but I was lucky enough to have mentors and a teacher that spent time with me and introduced me to the arts, which I think literally saved my life. I wouldn't be standing here with you all tonight had I not had those people that believed in me. I was lucky enough to travel the world as a professional performer, to experience different cultures and have opportunities that I might not have received without the arts. The arts is a powerful tool. I'm a social activist, I'm a youth advocate, and I'm a believer in equality and justice for all. I marched in the streets most of 2020 after the death of George Floyd and led over 2,500 people through the streets screaming for justice. And I realized we were also marching for our future generation. I've always had a passion for working with children, and I decided to focus on our youth, and that is how Rock Era was created. The children in this program have become my babies, and we call them the Rock Kids. Tonight, you will see them shine so bright like diamonds on this stage. Our goal at Rock is to show our children, our beautiful Black and brown babies, that they have opportunities, that they are seen, that they matter, regardless of the color of their skin. I want to be that mentor that somebody was to me. This work is personal. We work closely with the families and the parents, building relationships, offering any assistance and resources that we have access to. Here at Rock, I want our children to dream big and believe that they can reach the stars. It really does take a village to raise a child, and our village is strong. So I'd like to introduce Miss Winter Evans. She's been with us for almost a year, and she is the true definition of a rock kid. So please give it up for Miss Winter Evans.
Hi, my name is Winter, and I met Miss Aria and Jess at my school. And what I like about Rock Era is that I love it and I get to sing, dance. It is the best, and I want to be a dancer and be famous. I want to go all over the world and travel. And to all my little black girls, always shine bright like a star. Don't listen to the people that make fun of you, and you are perfect just the way you are.
All right. That was beautiful. She's such a star. Okay.
Well, that just came right off of there. I'm going to use this mic because if I stand behind the lectern, you're never going to see me. So Michael is so right about what happened at that gathering with food and conversation. And I'm very pleased tonight to introduce Jessica Jones. She is the creative director, a media producer, a digital designer, and impact and brand consultant. She has consulted and created for various prestigious organizations over the past 7 years. Perhaps more importantly than that, she has mentored children for over 10 years and recently eliminated more than 50% of her business so that she could commit more time to community service and youth mentorship and development. Jessica's work is driven by a deep passion for community development, restorative justice, and resource equity. In a moment, she's going to come and tell you how you can make a difference by giving to Rock Era. And I can tell you, after being in one meeting with her, she can be very persuasive. So there is a QR code in your program that we want you to use tonight. She was persuasive enough that my husband and I have written a check because we believe so much in what they are doing at Rock Era. And I pray tonight that you will know all of the money from your tickets went to Rock Era, and all of the money that you give during this time and beyond will go to Rock Era. When First Church says we partner with someone, we partner with them. And we invite you to join us in partnering with that too.
Good evening, everybody. How y'all feeling tonight? Now I gotta put on my persuasive shoes. I hope y'all are having a wonderful evening thus far. We are ecstatic to be here and so humbled to be selected as the nonprofit to receive the proceeds for tonight. Huge thank you to First Congregational Church for their faith and action, and to Melinda Hale for inviting us to the table. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I do want to share a few words. I've been blessed to experience and witness the power of mentorship and diversion from a very unique perspective. Growing up, my mother, who was an orphan herself, fostered over 10 kids, and she adopted a few of them who I love very, very dearly. I saw the diversion of their life courses in contrast to their peers and siblings who remained in less fortunate situations. My mother, she made it a point to keep us enrolled in programs that taught us productivity and that encouraged creative exploration. She kept us in summer programs that kept us moving, and a Black Achievers program that met weekly and provided us with a community of peers with shared challenges. This is the foundation of my love for Rock. With a master's in social responsibility and sustainable communities, my plan was to consult and grow minority tech businesses, and it took off with an impressive start. And then I fell in love with Watts. The rest is history. Rock Era's programs falls under 3 pillars: art, fitness, and mentorship. This is where the persuasion comes in. Across the board, our priorities are gang intervention and prevention, disrupting premature health risks and behaviors, combating academic disengagement, and providing opportunities that pipeline to pathways that align with our kids' interests, whether that be college, trade school, creative, or entrepreneurial. Our programming caters to our kids, and because of that, we've seen huge success and measurable impact. We've taken over 75 field trips, impacted over 250 kids, managed over 20 hyper-risk cases, and partnered to distribute over $75,000 in emergency resources to our youth, their families, and the communities they live in. What we've been able to accomplish is because of our village. That's not lost on us. It never will be. It's because of folks like you, truly, folks like you, our dear friends at the Change Reaction, our family and our friends who see the sacrifice and they match it with a seed of faith. Tonight, we lovingly and sincerely invite you to join that village, to trust that we will continue this work and that the fruit of your giving will grow for years to come. Pull out your phones right now. We're not ashamed to ask. We're not ashamed to ask because the truth of the matter is we just can't do it without folks like y'all. We can't do it. Folks who show up, believe, and prove to our youth that the future rests in the palm of their hands. I see you pulling your phone out too, actually, right there. I saw you. So tonight, the funds will go to expenses for Arts Rock, a therapeutic SEL performance and creative arts program, Girls Rock and Boys Rock, both of which are intensive SEL enrichment programs in our Rock House. That's our headquarters and space for programming and emergency resources for our youth. In the words of Dr. Martin Luther King, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Tonight, you have the opportunity to add to your answer to that question. Thank you for being here. Thank you for seeing us. Thank you for seeing our kids. We look forward to continuing our impact with your support.
Okay, thank you so much, Jessica. All right, so I'd like to introduce one of our newest rock kids. She is going to share her story in a beautiful song that's going to leave you all in tears. She is a true star. Please welcome Miracle B.
Hi, my name is Miracle, and here's how I feel about Black history. I personally come from Watts. Watts has been my own home. It has been where I have been living ever since I was born. So one thing I am not ashamed of is my skin. I will always embrace my beautiful Black skin. I will always embrace who I am, and nothing will change that. I am so happy that I was born in the Black community, which is my place that I live in. I will always accept my history. Black history has been around for centuries. It's been recognized by millions of people around the globe, and it has also impacted so many Black people, including Black people that live in Black societies. Many people are inspired by the amazing Black history stories that are known as history, and which this song that I'm going to sing in particular is about Black history. It talks about the freedom of Black people, and it talks about everything that you could think of freedom. But also, Black people are where they are today because of someone called Martin Luther King. And also, there's also other Black people that have changed so much in the world, like Harriet Tubman, someone that saved so many lives, but let's not get into too much. So please sit back and enjoy the song called Stand Up. I've been walking with my face turned to the sun, weight on my shoulders, a bullet in my gun. Oh, I got eyes in the back of my head, just in case I have to run. I do what I can when I can, while I can for my people. While the clouds throw back and the stars fill the night, that's when I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on, I can feel it in my bones. will the sun begin to shine. Ooh, we're gonna start moving towards that separating line. I'm waiting through muddy waters. You know I'm gonna make a mine. And I don't mind if I lose any blood on the way to salvation. And I'll fight with the strength that I got until I die. So I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river, can you hear freedom calling? Gonna keep on keeping on. And I know water on the bed might be hard to face us alone. And I just might fail, but Lord knows I tried. Sure stars fill up the sky. Stand up, take my people with me. Together to a brand new home, far across the river, calling me to answer. Gonna keep on keeping on. I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river, calling me to answer. Gonna keep on keeping on. I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me to a brand new home, far across the river. I hear freedom calling me to answer. I can feel it in my bones. I go to prepare a place for you. 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 Thank you.
Wow. That was amazing. Miracle, everybody. Wow. And some amazing dancers. I don't know if you saw the people in the front. We had some amazing dancers down the center aisle as well. Yes. Big hand for them as well. Every penny that you give tonight goes to foster what you saw tonight. All of that talent, all of those young people who want to move out and be somebody, that's what every penny that you're giving tonight. So thank you, thank you. My name is Chester McCurry. I am the Director of Performing Arts here at FCCLA. We are so happy to have you here tonight. How many people first time here? Quite a few. Well, thank you for coming. You're welcome to come back anytime. We have Sunday service every Sunday. We always do an organ prelude at 10:30, which is just a 30-minute organ concert, just like you saw tonight. But we also have some other amazing shows and concerts and theater events here. Check out our website. It's fccla.org. That is fccla.org. Come back and see us again. We have shows almost every weekend. But tonight, I am happy to be introducing my friend, who is the headlining act tonight. She was born and raised in Santa Barbara, California, and is a singer, songwriter, actress, entrepreneur, and activist. She has utilized her voice and social media presence to effect change with social justice, female empowerment, LGBTQ plus rights, veganism, and the Black Lives Matter movements. She currently has her own podcast called #WeNeedToTalk. The show is a mix of one-on-one interviews and roundtable discussions that dives deep into religion, entertainment, social justice, and politics. She won Best Female Vocalist at the Hollywood Music and Media Awards, Best Pop Music Video at the Indie Music Channel Awards, and she has been a headlining act across the world. She's also opened for humongous acts like Tyrone Wells, Ernie Halter, Levi Christ, O-Town, and Smokey Robinson. She's appeared in numerous TV shows and film, and is currently producing a social media series intended to amplify Black voices across different fields in life and experiences to share with the world about being Black in America. She's been married to her loving husband for 9 years, and she has an adorable baby girl who is the love of her life. Please welcome the incomparable Melinda Hale.
Look at all the hearts that beat around you, and the one that's keeping you alive. If you think you're alone in the way that you've been dreaming, we're all searching for the same thing. All around the world we say, hey, hey, hey. All around the world we say, hey, hey, hey. All around the world we say, hey, hey, hey. All around the world we say, all around the world we say, all around the world the same song. All around same song. Same song. Thank you so much for coming out tonight to support Rock Era. My name is Melinda Hale. We're here to sing, have a good time, support an incredible organization. So I'm going to ask you to stand on your feet and clap with me on this one. I made a vow that I'm going to change the world, but I ain't got no plans. Got my dream in my head in the sand. And I remember everything that we've been through. How people like you and me, we gotta work till we're all set free. Yeah. We're running far from something, staying fused on nothing, trying to keep from drowning. Yeah, yeah. So let's rewrite our story and ride it through to glory. Let them know that we all can win. Yeah. Da 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 da. Yeah. Da 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 da. Yeah. Da 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 da. Yeah. Da 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 da. Every single day that we're left with wanting more, some opportunity to go and find what we really need. We're taking the chance that we'll never make it there, but even when you hit the ground, there is something to be found. Yeah. Don't listen to the voices that got you making choices when you know what's really on your heart. Don't throw it all away now. Hear me when I say now, you're the one, you just gotta start. Hey, hey, da 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 da, yeah. Da 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 da, yeah. Da 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 da, yeah. Da 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 da. Come on, Rock. Come on, gang. Rod Casher on guitar and Gay Brother on the keys. Yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Hey, yeah, 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 yeah. Come on. Hey. Da 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 da, yeah. Da 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 da, yeah. Da 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 da, yeah. Da 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 da, yeah. Thank you so much. Well, we are here tonight, of course, to support the incredible organization of Rock Era. And I've had the pleasure and honor of knowing Miss Ariana for over 25 years. We grew up singing together and performing together in Santa Barbara. And I've gotten to know Jessica recently, and they are just a dynamic duo that are doing so much good in the world. So let's give them another hand. When I started getting involved in more activism and advocacy, the one way I knew to do it was through music. So this next song that I want to share with you really encompasses how I feel
and what I think we should all be doing when we go out into the world, and that's standing for what we believe in.
You never could walk on water, you never could move a mountain or fly across the sky. But never's gonna keep you wondering if your day is spent doing nothing. Will it keep you up at night? Remember, fear is never a reason not to try. This is our chance to break another wall down. Never look back, we're fighting for it right now. When they react, makes me wanna shout out. Take a deep breath, we're living in the moment. Take a first step, this is what we chosen. Just stand for something, something bigger than me. Just stand for something. Stand for something. Stand for something. Something bigger than me. It's easy to find resistance when it's something you're scared to witness, when you're hiding what's inside. But if you keep second guessing whether all you are is missing what it takes to win the fight, if you turn your back, then you'll miss the turning tide. Yeah. But this is our chance to break another wall down. Never look back, we're fighting for it right now. When they react, makes me wanna shout out. And take a deep breath, we're living in the moment. Take a first step, this is what we chosen. Just stand for something, something bigger than me. Just stand for something. Stand for something. Stand for something. Stand for something. It's our chance to break another wall down. Never look back, we're fighting for it right now. When we react, makes me wanna shout out. Take a deep breath, we're living in a moment. Take a first step, this is what we chosen. Just stand for something, something bigger than me. Right now, yeah. The moment you chose, stand for something. Thank you. So when I wrote this next song, I was struggling to figure out how to respond to all of the police brutality and the height of the Black Lives Matter movement. But music was always a way for me to express myself and how I feel. So this next song is truly my heart. It's my heart in a song, and really listen to the lyrics because they mean so much to me. This is We Run. You see us black as a night, but we're invisible, invisible. You need us to shine your light so you feel beautiful, beautiful. Bloodshed stains on the sidewalk. They're not the right color for you. Why does my complexion revoke a connection? It's not enough to be a human too. So we run just to find the answers. We run just to fight another war. We run just to be a life that matters. But I still don't know what we're running for. And my tears don't benefit you in any way, in any way. No, you'd rather hide from it and not hear what I say, hear what I say. But our children are dying on the sidewalk. They're not the right color for you. You see my complexion and you're scared of connection. I guess I'm not a human to you. So we run just to find the answers. We run just to fight another war. We run just to be a life that matters. But I still don't know what we're running for. And we run but I still don't know why we're running.
Give it up for KK. One, two, three, four. If you know this song, feel free to sing along.
Me and all my friends, we were all misunderstood. They say we stand for nothing, and there's no way we ever could. Now we see everything that's going wrong with the world and those who need it. But it seems like we don't have the means to rise above and beat it. 'Cause we keep on waiting on the world to change. Keep on waiting on the world to change. It's hard to beat the system when you're standing at a distance, but we keep on waiting. generation, that they can sell you what they want. That's why we're waiting on the world to change. Keep on waiting on the world to change. It's not that we don't care, we just know that the money's there. So keep waiting on the world to change.
Thank you so much. So this next song that we're gonna do, I wrote it a few years ago, and I originally wrote it in response to the homeless crisis that is in Los Angeles. But as I was writing it, I realized that it can apply to so many things, because we all have a story, and we're all wanting to be heard, and we're all wanting to be seen. And sometimes we look past people, we cast a judgment based on their situation, based on not knowing them. And we need to change that. We need to change that. So I've invited a few of the kids from Rock Era to come and join me for this song, and it's called Story.
When you were 5, did you want to be a fireman? Rule the world or run faster than the other kids on a playground at school, yelling, "Catch me if you can." When you were 13, did you get your first kiss or pass a note to a boy and hope it circled yes? Did you dream of a family and house with a white picket fence? So what's your story? What's your story? Stop and take a minute to think about where you're going right now. You pretend that this boulevard isn't crying right now. And I know that it's hard to see somebody broken down. But if they got to wear your shoes, where would they be right now? The street with a sign in your empty hands, in a sea of faces, never knowing when someone will notice you, come and take hold of you, help you make a plan, show you how to stand, to write your story, to write your story. Stop and take a minute to think about where you're going right now. But if they got to wear your shoes, where would they
nobody. I want to be the black girl they all look down on and became somebody.
My dream is to be helpful. My dream is to change the world, make the world a better place. Stop the violence, also want to become a world's famous pop star. My story is I've been dancing since I was little and I want to grow up to be a famous dancer.
My story is I've been singing since I was a kid and I'm ready to fulfill that calling.
Stop and take a minute to think about where you're going right now. You pretend that this boulevard isn't crying right now. And I know that it's hard to see somebody broken down. But if they got to wear your shoes, where would they be right now? And what's your story? And what's your story? And what's your story? And what's your story? You see them broken down. Where would they be right now? And take a broken dream and give them what they need. When you were 5, did you wanna be a fireman?
Give it up for the Rock Kids. Now I'm gonna invite Ariana, and I think Jessica, no, Jessica's up there. I'm gonna invite Ariana up here to talk about this next song.
So back in the end, wow, that was amazing. Melinda's incredible. Woo! That's a longtime friend of 25 years, and it's funny that we both started singing together at this age, so it's really all full circle for us. But back at the end of 2021, I wanted our kids to experience a musical, our kids from Watts. So something I grew up loving to do. So I wrote a show called The Urban King, which is a spin-off of The Lion King. But instead of it taking place in the kingdom of Africa, it takes place in the kingdom of Watts. So this is a story of self-discovery and a young boy growing up in Watts, the obstacles and temptations of the streets, but also the joy and hope for the future. So myself and our team wrote an original song for the show called The Kingdom of Watts. And I want this song to be part of their legacy. So, please enjoy the Rock Kids Performance Group singing their original song, Kingdom of Watts.
Chances, like diamonds in the rough, you know, fall under pressure, then we will stand it. Kingdom of Watts, we are meant to soar. Kingdom of Watts, together we are strong. Living in a world of generations new and old. We are the future and we're destined for more. We will fly.
Up in Watts, we are taught to survive. But our generation, the new generation, is saying we want to thrive, and we will thrive because we are the committed kingdom, the formidable and inspirational kingdom. We take no for no answers. We are
Kingdom Watts. We are meant to soar. Kingdom Watts. Together we are strong. Living in the world of generation doing all. We are the future and we're dancing for more. We will fly. Together we will rise. No more crying, no more dying. We can do better, so much better. No more crying, no more dying. We can do better, so much better. Kingdom Watts, we are meant to soar. Kingdom Watts, together we are strong. Living in a world of generations doing all. We are the future and we're dancing for more. We will fly. Together we will rise.
I love Watts because it's great,
I love Watts because it is beautiful.
because it's inspirational,
I love Watts because it's our history.
because it's phenomenal,
I love Watts because it is my home.
because it's hopeful.
We are the future generation of Watts. Kingdom Watts. We are meant to soar. Kingdom Watts. Together we are strong. Living in a world of generations doing all. We are the future and we're dancing for more. We will fly. Together we will
Yes, Rock Kids! So as you can see, any donations that you make tonight, the ticket that you bought to be here or to be watching on the live stream, it's all going to those incredible kids to help keep them with their arts, with their mentorship programs, and everything that Ariana and Jessica are doing. Let's give it up for them one more time.
Just imagine we woke up in paradise. Don't need magic. Just let my force just carry us home. Home tonight. Future's golden. Don't live up, don't give it up. Just keep going. Even when you've had enough, I will be your light.
and Josiana Carvalho. Well, I want to thank you guys again for coming out tonight to support Rock Era. Again, every single dollar goes to this amazing organization, and they are doing incredible work. Ariana and Jessica, you both are national treasures, so thank you so much for all that you're doing for those kids. Give it up for them. If you want to learn more about the organization, go to rockera.org. Again, my name is Melinda Hale. Thank you so much to FCCLA for having me, and this has been a real blessing. This last song that I'm going to do, I wrote specifically for this event. Corey, my MD, I'm going to introduce the band in just a second, but he was like, you got to write a new song for this. And I was like, okay. So I wrote this song specifically for this, and it's called Love Is On Your Side. But before we get there, I do want to introduce the band. Again, background singers, Zion Miller, Josiana Carvalho. Holding it down on drums, Mr. Chesley Allen in the back. On acoustic guitar that was featured on that last song, Mr. Dean Anbar. On keys, we have Gabe Rudner. On electric guitar, one of my very best friends, Mr. Rod Castro. And my musical director and bass player and right-hand man, Mr. Corey Hunter. Thank you again, and my name is Melinda Hale. Thank you so much for coming out tonight.
There's a light inside of you.
Thank you so much. God bless.
As we leave, we're going to clap for Melinda one more time. They still on here? Clap them off the stage. So often, as we look around the world and see what is challenging us and what we say, that why is that happening? It so often feels like we're a fly's whisper in a tornado. And yet nights like tonight where we're together, all of a sudden, I feel like maybe one more step can make a big difference. And the problems we face in this world, they're really not hard to solve. They just take people in a room saying, let's go do that. So thank you for being those people this evening.
So tomorrow is going to be an incredible day at First Church, and we invite you to come and be part of that. My good friend Christine Min is going to have a chancel conversation with Reverend Brandon Harris. He is the new Associate Dean for Religion at USC. He was ordained at Ebenezer Baptist Church, and his good friend, Senator Ralph Warnock, is the one who was his mentor during his time of service there. He's a remarkable young man, and I hope that you will come and hear him tomorrow. And then Abby's going to be back.
Abby, she's going to lead us in lots of songs tomorrow, so we're going to have a lot of fun.
More Nigerian music, so we hope that you will come and be with us. We have words for the journey. This evening, as we come to close this time together, and as we remember the legacy of Dr. King, it is with grateful hearts that we ask, as he did, for God to bless us with discomfort at easy answers, half-truths, and superficial relationships, so that we may live from deep within our hearts.
We ask God to bless us with anger at injustice, oppression, and exploitation of all creation, so that we may work for justice, peace, and freedom.
We ask God to bless us with tears for those who suffer pain, rejection, hunger, and war, so that we may reach out our hands to comfort them and to turn their pain into joy.
And we ask God to bless us with just enough foolishness to believe that we can make a difference in this world, so that we can do what others claim cannot be done by bringing justice and love to all God's children.
May it ever be so. Amen and amen.
Take it away, Mr. West. Thank you, everybody.